Everyone, it's Ellen March with Sulky of America, and this is So What? Today we're going to be talking about in the hoop designs as well as hand lettered quilting, which is our webinar that is this afternoon in a couple of hours. So be sure to register for our webinar so that you can take advantage of all the great content we will be getting from Carly Porter. I've tagged her in this post, and we will definitely add a link in the comments so that you can register for the webinar today. Like I said, that's happening in a couple hours, and I'm going to go through a little bit about what we will be learning in the webinar today. So Carly Porter is an awesome quilt artist. She mostly focuses on adding free motion designs to her quilts. So she does her quilting mostly by lowering the feed dogs or using a long arm machine to add really cool design compositions to her quilts. They end up looking like embroidery that you've either done by hand or machine, depending on the thread weight that you're using for your design. So in the webinar today, we're going to be learning about her method of free motion, as well as how to create one of her designs the hand embroidery way as well as the machine embroidery way. So we're going to be learning quite a bit today. We'll learn a lot of techniques we can apply to other projects, and it's just going to be a great webinar. So also, if you've never done one of our webinars before, we give away a couple of door prizes during the event, so you can win one of the kits that goes with the webinar project. We always put together a special kit for the project itself, and it just makes it so much easier. You don't have to go out and hunt for all the components for the project that we're presenting. They're available to you in one nice kit with a really great price tag. Let me just emphasize, really great price tag. For the webinar day, for 24 hours, we do a flash sale on the kit. So it's a really great idea to grab that kit today while it's on sale. In the kit is Carly's brand new book called Hand Lettered Quilting. And that book retails, I think, for around $44. And the kit, the entire kit on sale today, is only $49.99. So you're basically getting that book and tons of other product for a steal, literally a steal of a deal. So again, sign up for the webinar. If you attend live, you're eligible to be entered in for the door prize drawing. And if you can't attend live, no worries. You can watch the webinar at any time. It's accessible anytime as an on-demand event. So you'll be able to get the information even if you can't join us at 2 o'clock today. That's 2 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, so be sure to make sure you register, like I said, and I'll stop beating a dead horse here and move on. But I wanted to talk about some of the techniques that we're going to be learning in the webinar, because you can apply them to a lot of holiday gift ideas or holiday gift projects that you'll be working on as the weeks progress here leading up until Christmas and all of the other winter holidays we will be experiencing. So Carly's project itself makes a great gift idea. The project that we will be learning about today, it's actually making a quilted postcard using a bunch of different sewing techniques. So you can make that for teachers, your kids' teachers. It's a great gift for the holidays. You could make it for just about anyone, honestly. You can also make these as little additions to purchased gifts that you might have under the tree. Use them as a gift tag or as a little card to go along with it. Especially if you don't have time to make something entirely homemade, it's a great idea to have just a little bit of something homemade to go along with it. It's kind of putting your stamp on the gift. So I love doing that kind of stuff. So I want to show you a little bit about what one of the products we will be talking about today, which is also on special for 24 hours. Again, you'll learn about this in the webinar. But sulky stick and stitch. Now, I do want to mention, if you're joining us, be sure to like, share, comment on this post, do some kind of activity on the post, and you could win a pack of sulky stick and stitch. I'll be giving away this today to anybody who's watching this live video and commenting, liking, sharing. We'll pick a winner at random to win this pack of stick and stitch. And also, because last week on So What, I completely forgot to give away a prize. I know, what's wrong with me? So that means this week we're going to give away 2 prizes. Number 1 is the pack of stick and stitch. This contains the 8.5 by 11 sheets of stabilizer, and I'm going to go through how to use that in a moment. There's a million different ways to use it, maybe not a million, but several ways to use it, and it's just needs to be a permanent staple in your sewing room. I'm also going to be giving away one of Carly's books, the hand-lettered quilting book. We can put a link to that in the comments so you guys can check out the book. It's also available as a standalone product as well as with the webinar kit, and you'll see the value of getting the kit like I mentioned earlier. But I'll be giving away one of those books to a lucky person who's watching this video and commenting, liking, sharing, that type of thing. Okay, so on to the stick and stitch. Okay, this is a water-soluble stabilizer. Now, if you're familiar with sulky, sticky Fabri-Solvi, which comes on a bolt or also in sheets, it's actually the same product. So if you like using sticky Fabri-Solvi for embroidery projects, machine embroidery, or if you like using it for quilting, or even free motion work, the great thing about this is that it's sticky, it's water soluble, so completely dissolves underwater after you're done doing your project, and it's printable. Okay, so these sheets fit in your printer and you can print your embroidery designs right onto them. So like I mentioned in the description of this video, I wanted to talk about how to use a machine embroidery design template or design sort of color chart as a hand embroidery template, so you can get a little more bang out of your buck when you're buying machine embroidery designs. So when you are printing out your color chart for your embroidery designs, you can also print out templates of the design. Now, we usually use these templates as placement markers for our fabric. So before we've hooped the fabric, you'd place your template on the fabric right side and then hoop your fabric in the hoop to make sure that it is oriented properly so that your design stitches out exactly where you want it to. Well, you can print those onto stick and stitch and also use them as templates like I just explained, or use them as hand embroidery templates and go and do some hand stitching on a different project using maybe a thicker thread, or maybe you want a portable project when you're on the plane. These are great templates for hand embroidery as well. So once you have printed out the design onto a sheet of stick and stitch, you'll cut it out around the design perimeter, like so. Okay, it might have registration marks on it depending on the brand of machine embroidery design you're using, but you can just ignore those very easily. You can also print in color, and that'll tell you, which color of thread to use while you're doing the hand embroidery, but I digress. So when you're using your machine embroidery template, like I said, it might have additional markings on it that you can just ignore. Once you print it out, you'll cut away the remaining stabilizer beyond the design. You can combine several if you have Photoshop or something like that. Then you'll peel away the paper backing and reveal this adhesive, right? Then you will take your fabric and place the stick and stitch directly over the top on the fabric right side where you want your design. All right, so here we are sticking it. Now this is the same method or part of the method that we're going to be talking about today with Carly Porter. When we do our hand embroidered version of the project, she talks about using stick and stitch. Now, she also hoops the fabric, and that's because her design is quite larger than this small design that fits on a charm square. A charm square is a 5.5-inch square, okay? So if you want additional stability, you can certainly hoop the fabric, and we have some great wooden embroidery hoops that are super high quality on sulky.com. So if you're used to those brittle, if you're used to those brittle hand embroidery hoops that you get for super cheap at the store, this is nothing like that, okay? These hoops are awesome. They're great for even just hooping designs and hanging the hoops themselves on the walls. Super cute holiday decor can be done this way. I saw that a lot at Quilt Market, actually. People just framing really cute fabric motifs for the holidays and putting the hoops on the wall. It's kind of like a wreath, only better, because you get to showcase fabric. Anyway, if you want additional stability, you can hoop. However, the great thing about this product is not only is it transferring the design, it's also stabilizing the fabric at the same time. So you can stitch directly through this with no need for a hoop, which also makes it another great portable project if you're going on a plane or traveling for the holidays. So you can start sewing directly along the lines, and see, I don't have to hoop this at all. It's stable enough to support the stitches, and I'm not going to get any puckers as I go along. So here I'm just doing a back stitch along the lines of this cute little pattern. And that's a really great way to get more out of the machine embroidery designs that you're purchasing. And this gets to be really addictive, but in the interest of time, I'll leave it at 2 stitches and just show you one that I've completed. So here is a cute little design. You can see I've done all the hand embroidery that I want, just picking random stitches, filling in stitches using some French knots, doing you know, some different techniques using some different colors of thread. And for this, I use Sulky 12-weight cotton petites. I'll put a link to that in the comments here. Let's see. Oh, great. Got the wooden embroidery hoops up there. Thanks. Okay, so Sulky 12-weight cotton petites are great for handwork because 1 strand of that thread equals 2 strands of traditional embroidery floss. However, it comes on a spool, a snap spool. Okay, so if I had a snap spool right here, I could show you. And it's completely amazing that I don't. However, when it comes on a spool, you can easily contain the thread tail in the snap spool, all right? And you don't have the mess that embroidery skeins can give you, or floss skeins, I should say. When you're separating those threads and trying to get 3 strands or 2 strands or 4 strands for your design, you're often left with this giant jumbly mess of tied up thread, okay? So if you don't like those tangles, be sure to try the 12-weight cotton petites for your handwork. It's also great for big stitch quilting, sashiko work. I've totally converted to using the 12-weight cotton thread as opposed to embroidery floss. So at any rate, once you have stitched your design, all you do is take this fabric and rinse it under running water. You don't really want to soak it in water because some of the stabilizer just kind of, well, basically what can happen is the printing of your design can separate from the stabilizer. Then when you go to lift your fabric out of the area, the bucket or the sink where you have been soaking it, that printing can get elsewhere on your fabric. Now, honestly, I have done it both ways. I have soaked it and I have rinsed it, and I haven't had this problem, but I have heard that other people do. So your best bet and your fastest method of removal is really to rinse it under the faucet under running water. If you have like a kitchen sprayer, oh, that works so good. You just spray down the design and you'll watch the stabilizer just disintegrate into the water. Okay, so once that's done, let it dry and then press it from the wrong side and it'll look like you didn't even use a template. I mean, I just love this stuff. So again, like, share, comment on the post, and you will be eligible to win a pack of this great stick and stitch that I've been talking about. Okay, so be sure and do that. Okay, also, like I mentioned before, we'll be giving away the hand-lettered quilting book today to a random person who likes, shares, comments on today's post. And that's another great resource. I mean, it's full of great design ideas, great designs from Carly Porter. If you like lettering designs, which who doesn't, especially around the holidays, they're great for stocking cuffs when you want to add someone's name to a stocking cuff. Really great for personalizing anything like, you know, pajama pants, or if you make pajamas for the entire family, maybe with their name embroidered on the shirt. So cute for family photos. You will want to tune in to today's posts or today's webinar so you can learn how to compose those designs and then all kinds of different ways for stitching them out. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today, because I just got it in the mail, is another great holiday gift idea. I just got my Cuddle Kit from Shannon Fabrics and Sulky of America. Now these are available at sulky.com. I know it says Shannon Fabrics all over it, but we actually partnered with Shannon Fabrics to bring you a couple of great kits that are perfect gift ideas for the holidays. You can see right here, Sulky thread is included in this kit, and that is because we're adding embroidery to this great cuddle blanket slash quilt. I know there's, you know, a lot of people out there who say if you're piecing something together, it's a quilt. I also say if it's super easy piecing and it's like a throw for your couch, then I think it's okay to call it a blanket, but you let me know in the comments. This kit is curated with all of these great cuddle fabrics, and after you purchase it, it comes with a link to download exclusive designs that coordinate with the fabric print. All right, so there's a large scale, really cute elephant applique design that is done in the hoop. And I wanted to talk about what is an in the hoop design. An in the hoop design is actually a project in and of itself. It can be a standalone applique that you shape and use as an ornament. It can be a little pouch that you create entirely in the hoop. And you might be wondering, how do I create this in the hoop? Because in the hoop of my embroidery design, all I can do is machine embroidery designs. Well, that is not true. If you've never tried an in the hoop project, I strongly urge you to do so. There are a lot of companies out there that have really great in the hoop designs, and basically your machine is still doing most of the work, but what you have to do is pay attention to the directions so you know at which point to place different fabric layers to create the project. So let's say you're creating a little pouch or a zipper case. That's a good thing to talk about because we have a webinar on how to create an in the hoop. Did I say zipper case? It's a scissor case. It has zippers on it. So that's where my confusion lies. Yes, you can even add zippers in the hoop of your embroidery machine. So this takes out a lot of the guesswork, a lot of the technique you need to know about inserting zippers, because you're basically placing the zipper down over some layers of fabric and then pressing start again on your machine to do the zipper stitching. And as long as you follow the directions and place your zipper in the right spot, using some removable tape so it doesn't shift, you will be creating zippers that look super professional because your embroidery machine is doing all the stitching. So in the hoop projects are some of my favorites, especially for the holidays, because you can create things assembly line style. Like for example, we have an in the hoop project or in the hoop stocking project on our website, and we can link to that in the comments as well so you can access it. But imagine having 5 children or even 2 children. You can create stockings that look exactly the same by using an in the hoop stocking design. You basically choose your stocking fabric, place it, press start, it'll stitch around the design, you'll cut away fabric where you need to cut it away. I mean, they're just fantastic. And you can personalize those too. So if you want to add a name to the stocking, you would just do that on your machine screen or in software before bringing it over to your embroidery machine. So in a sense, that's an in the hoop project. If I haven't explained it well enough, you will learn more about it in the webinar today, because we will be talking about how this postcard project is done entirely in the hoop. It's not just the design that you're creating. Is it the design you're creating? You're layering your postcard in the hoop so that most of the project is done in the hoop. And this is pretty customary. You know, there'll be some in the hoop designs are done partially in the hoop, and then your last finishing step is done on the sewing machine. Some are done entirely in the hoop, where you would add lining and then remove your stabilizer, turn it right side out, and there might be some hand sewing that you need to do in the end to kind of close up all the seams. Make sure you don't have any raw edges. So try some in the hoop projects. Join us today for the webinar so you can learn more about in the hoop projects. And next week, I will be sharing another exclusive in the hoop design with you all as well. So again, make sure to like or love, give me a heart on this post, share it with your friends, comment, because again, we'll be giving away 2 great prizes today. And I can't wait to see you all in the webinar this afternoon. I will be hosting it. Our guest again is Carly Porter. Check her page out at Carly Porter Quilts if you want to learn more. And we will be seeing you in about an hour and a half for our live webinar. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in a few.